Well, once again, my friends from around the world, we find ourselves in front of the screen. This is episode 114 of Sunday Night Alive Power Hour. This is your live interactive broadcast, my friends. It indeed, it is a privilege and an honor to be here today. I'm going to tell you why I'm excited. I'm not just excited about being here or being alive today. I'm excited about a little bit more. So we're going to hopefully we'll take on some of your questions, maybe your thoughts, and we will find some solutions here on this broadcast. Let's turn on the light, my friends. Let's turn on the light. Once again, Santos Rolon Jr., straight out of Stockton, a.k.a. Soldier of Self-Mastery, at your service right here over the next few minutes. Today's topic, elements that precede successful living. We're going to talk a little bit about elements. We're going to talk about rituals. We're going to talk about some ideas, my friends, some solutions. Could you use a solution today? We can use solutions all the time. So this is episode 114. This is your episode, my friend. So in a little bit, I'll acknowledge you. I want to know who you are, possibly where you're from. Okay. But before we do the program, let me see. Elements that precede successful living for 20 and beyond. All right, my friends. Let's get into a little bit of house cleaning real quick here. Let me see. A little bit of house cleaning. What are we doing today? We're going to be doing a book giveaway. Hey, I'm going to be doing a book giveaway. The numbers are 1 through 55. Okay. So pick a number, my friend. There's going to be, if you get one of these books, it might be the other book that I have. Whichever book you get, I'm going to write a special message on the inside for you. Just a special message for you, my friend. So I hope you get the right number. All right. I better be careful because my number is in front of the camera. So a little bit of house cleaning here. Make sure that if you're benefiting from what we're doing here, help me reach youth. Help me reach more people, my friends. All right. Support the mission. Buy a book. Give a book away. You can also give a love gift, $20 or more. You can do that. And there'll be more information as we go forward. All right. Make sure that if you're new here, if you are brand new, subscribe. Make sure that you turn on your notifications. You subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications to all so that you receive everything that you can if you see the benefit in what we're doing here at Soldiers of Self-Mastery. And a big thank you ahead of time. All right, let me see what else. We're here every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's it for house cleaning. Again, if you want to, I sent the message out for Sean. I haven't acknowledged anybody yet. I sent the message out to Sean. I believe he's going to possibly be with us next week. He's going to be sharing his testimony. And then we're going to have Entrepreneur Jim back possibly the following week if he can make it. And if there's anybody else on this program, you're coming here and you want to share your testimony, you want to share something that's working in your life, a breakthrough. Hey, maybe the light went on somewhere in your life this week, because we just finished an era of 7 days. Remember that? We just finished. We're entering into a new era of 7 days. Okay. It feels good to not have gambled for 7 days, my friends. It feels great. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to get into the proverb here. But before we get into the proverb, I want to acknowledge those of you that are already here before we get into today's proverb, because I'm going to do a little bit of reading from 2 scriptures in Psalm 23. And I want to bring that to today. I'm going to bring something from the Bible to today. I believe it's going to make some sense to you. But I'm going to tell you why I'm excited. The reason why I'm excited is because you're here. Okay. Another reason why I'm excited is because I'm growing and I'm alive. I can see, I can hear, I can taste, I can feel. There was a period in my life where I didn't feel that. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for that. And to be here, to grow, to be challenged, to feel alive, man, I'm privileged and I'm honored. So let me see if I got everybody here today. Nahil, welcome to the live broadcast. It's good to see you here. Monica, welcome to the broadcast. Laura, Jim, hopefully you'll accept my my invitation for next, not this week coming up, but the following week. I'm going to have you back on. Jim's got some very good business knowledge and some good self-educational knowledge too for all of us. So I want to thank you. And by the way, I received a gift from Jim, quite a big gift. No, it's not money. It is a motorized bike. And we did a little bit of work for it, just a little bit of work, and we received it over the weekend. Was it? Well, last week. So I'm very, very grateful to uncarton that thing and put on my helmet and scoot down the road with it. We'll see. Maybe we'll take some videos with that thing. So thank you, Jim. Mark, welcome. Eladio, welcome. Sean. And I sent an email to Sean, so hopefully Sean will be with us next weekend. He'll be sharing his testimony and what's working for him, man. I'm excited for Sean. I know he's like 3 or 4 months now gambling free, man. Look at that, 87 days free, man. That's awesome. That's fantastic, man. So we're going to have you, Sean, on here. And here's the thing. It's not about us interviewing each other. The cool thing about when we do an interview here is that your video, whatever you share, is going into the archives, and it's going to be, who knows, maybe you'll become famous in 2 or 3 years through Soldiers of Self-Mastery YouTube channel. No, I'm just joking, but you will be in the archives, and that will be a testimonial, and that will be something educational for others to listen to, study from, whatever. All right. So if you have a question today, if you have an observation, something that you we'll bring it up here before. Eladio, thank you. I'm glad to see you too, my friend. Miami. All right. Miami's in the house. Monica, welcome. 42 days. She's got 42 days. Congratulations. You know that let me share something before we get into the proverb. This is a big deal. When you've got 7 days, when you've got 14 days, when you've got a month, cherish that. Hold on to that, my friend. That is a huge trophy for you, because you're going to go through, you're going to go through the shit. Pardon my language, but you're going to go through the shit because we live in the shadow. We live in the valley of the shadow of death. And I'm going to be reading a little bit about that. You need to hold on to your victories. You really need to hold on to your victories, and you need to hold them tight. And if you can share them with other people, there's going to be times that you can share your victory, and there's going to be times that you won't be able to share your victory, because some people are just totally living in darkness and they don't want any light. They don't want any light around them. So today's proverb is Psalm 23. And I'm going to read 2 verses out of this psalm. And again, one of the reasons why I read the Proverbs, I call it the whole Bible is actually a proverb. If you didn't know this, I call it the law of God. And I'm really starting to appreciate the law of God more and more today because it's becoming like a newspaper to me. It's becoming like a newspaper. Now, let me read these two verses and then we'll go on with the program. And we'll dive into this topic of the elements that precede successful living. The Lord, this is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That's verse 1 of Psalm 23. And here's verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Let me read that again because I want that to sink into somebody's spirit. I want this verse here to sink into somebody's psyche, into your mindset. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the shadow of death. Does that sound familiar to us? The shadow of death, the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The rod and staff is actually a symbolic reference to the word, to the law of God. That's what comforts us. Really, words, our own speech comforts us, but we're talking about the word of the master of the universe. That's the ultimate comfort that anyone can have. And let me tell you, my friends, we are living more. I don't watch a lot of the news, but I am keeping up because as a veteran, I'm kind of used to looking at events around the world. And I have a son and a daughter. My son's a Marine, getting ready to go to Japan sometime. We're looking at world events today. My friends, I mean, I think about this. If we're not living in the valley of the shadow of death, what is the valley of the shadow of death? There's a lot of people hurting, a lot of young people, children, families. There's a lot of things going on, my friends. That's why I say I'm privileged and I'm excited to be here. We can take a moment out of this Sunday and educate, applicate, and motivate because we don't know what tomorrow may bring. We don't know. We don't have any idea. In fact, you're a gift. You are a gift, and today is a gift. Monday's a gift. Wednesday's a gift. Every gift is unwrapping itself, right? Monday will unwrap itself. Today is already unwrapping itself. We don't have control over these things, but you're a gift and you are unwrapping yourself. How have you been unwrapping yourself today? And what kind of a gift are you? Because the way that we unwrap ourselves is how we will be understood, we will be perceived, we will be known, we will be judged. That's the truth. All right, my friends, a little bit of preaching there. We've turned on the light. I'm excited. Let me see my first. Rob, welcome to the program. I see Rob's in here. First few weeks is hardest, he says. Let me see. Sean, I am very thankful. Let me see what Sean has to say here. I'm very thankful. A lot of temptations about the glorious casinos giving away free drinks and foods. When I speak about my freedom of it to those, they told me they have control only spending $100. Yeah, the truth is, Sean, that some people do have control. That's the truth. But here's the by the way, thank you for sharing. Here's the problem. Most people today are living in darkness. Most people don't even realize that they're living in the shadow, in the valley of the shadow of death. We're chasing enjoyment. We're chasing pleasures. We're chasing opulence, right? A lot of money. We're chasing all these things, and we see this. And at the same time, we see governments that are being toppled. We see leaders that are being thrown in jail. We see leaders that are actually being exposed for their darkness. Man, the valley of the shadow of death. And then we have these casinos. I was doing some studies, and I thank you, Sean, for sharing this. It's true. I found that the casinos, and I have to be very careful because there's been people that have spoken out about this particular subject. I'm not saying that I'm deep into this subject, but I'm going to share just a little bit here because I believe that the casinos, I believe that gambling and the casinos and everything that goes with it is a byproduct of something called a secret society. They call it the Illuminati. In fact, what is it that they call it? The Calab or the Caleb, whatever it is. There's a lot of stuff happening today. And I know that my eyes from learning, from reading, from educating myself, from associating with others that have turned on their light, I'm beginning to see the darkness and the trap of going into these casinos and gambling. It is suicide, my friends. That's what it is. It's not just physical suicide. It is mental torture. It is mental suicide. We have to wake up and we have to warn others before it gets too late for them. This is serious. I wasn't expecting to share what I'm sharing with you today, but this is the truth, my friends. We are living in the middle of a war zone. We have a war zone up here that we must conquer. You must conquer. And then we have a war zone out here. And man, it's like the top. It's like the top has been taken off and the contents are spilling over. And we are seeing I'm reminded of President Trump. He said that he was going to drain the swamp. Now, again, I'm not here to make any judgments against President Trump. I'll leave that to God. But it appears to me like a lot of swamps are being drained today, man. And it's just, and then, again, we have this coronavirus. We don't know. We have no clue of the extent of where this is going to go or how it's going to end. We don't know. I know that we got to stay positive in this negative world as much as possible because we don't want a worldwide pandemic, which we already have many pandemics titled evil. We don't want this coronavirus to spread, right? I tell you, my friends, this is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in. A lot of things are going to be impacted. In fact, a lot of things are being impacted today. So let me see what is going on here. Laura says, I'm doing good. She says, I'm doing good. I had a slip a little ago, but no need to go back. Well, that's how it was for me. I made a decision a couple years ago and I kept slipping. I did. I admit I fell. But it wasn't until I really got serious with myself and said, you know what, Santos, it's not even about defeating gambling. It's actually about defeating the mindset. It's actually about defeating the belief systems that we have, that we hold on to. We are being fed so much propaganda. Yes, we've heard of propaganda in other countries. We have it here in the United States. In fact, I didn't realize that we've had it all along because I didn't understand what propaganda is. But we are being, I tell you, and we are going to be talking about the elements, the main elements. What are the main elements to a successful living? What are they? What precedes? What usually takes place before you can have successful life? Right? And I'm not talking about a bunch of money here. I'm talking about a well-balanced mindset and a well-balanced lifestyle to the best of what you can do, right? As I said earlier, we don't have control over Mondays. We don't have control over Tuesdays. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You have no idea. None. I know I don't. The only thing that we have control over is the right now. That's it. We don't have control over the next hour because we don't even know if the next hour is going to show up. All right, my friends, let me see what's going on. Jesse, let me see. I've got Jesse here. Hi, Santos. 1 Timothy 1:7. Drinking some chai tea on this Sunday, free from the casino, months now. Congratulations, Jesse. That's good that you're doing uh, away and chai tea. By the way, thank you for 1 Timothy 1:7, which says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." I believe that's 1 Timothy, or either 2 Timothy, one of those. Uh, yeah, I might be. Yeah, so that's good. Thank you for bringing that up. And one of the reasons, in fact, let me just bring up a few things here. I'm just going to throw out a few things here: rituals, disciplines, and hunger. What are those three things? What are those three things, or those three words? What do they mean to you? Rituals, discipline, and hunger. We're talking about the elements that precede successful living. People that aren't living successful, and again, I got to emphasize this because it's not about money. It's not about living in a big house. It's not about none of those things. It's really about living rich within yourself, being knowing where you're going, having your understanding, greater understanding, right? Like I say, open eyes, open ears, being consciously aware of what's going on around you. There's a lot of people that aren't consciously open. They're not alive. There's a lot of people around us that are not consciously aware of their own thinking or their own speech or their surroundings. So man, when I think about the gift that I have today for myself, for my life, and how I can help other people, man, I hope that God leaves me here for a little bit longer to be able to share these things with youth, with adults, with seniors, with veterans. We gotta take these things seriously. These casinos, they're steam. These casinos are steamrolling people. That's what's happening. They're steamrolling people. Let me see what else. I see you guys. I see you guys got. By the way, if you have an idea, where are we going to go with this program? I'm asking myself that more and more. Where am I going with this program? If you have an idea, if you've got some cool thing that you want to share with me, maybe you want to bring it onto this platform, maybe you have a way that maybe you can reach others through this platform, I'm inviting you to connect with me. I appreciate the emails. I appreciate the calls. I do the best that I can. Sometimes I fall short. Sometimes I make mistakes, and I do apologize. But I try to do the best and thank everybody that supports this mission, because it's a lot of work. This is a lot of work. So what I wanted to do here is I want to put this one here. Okay, we'll leave that one there for now. And let me see. Rob says car broke down. It was a blessing. Exactly. See, we can take the negatives and we can draw positives out of it. I had some things happen to me over the weekend that I could have gotten really, really upset over. And instead I said, no, I'm going to continue to make my day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top. Yeah, I got a big screw in my tire, a big old screw in a brand new tire for the second time. I took it to the tire man, and what does he do? He damages my aluminum rim. They're a brand new car. I basically couldn't argue with 3 or 4 guys. I had to leave the place. Things happen. And like the car breaking down, things do happen. So it's all about what's happening up here. By the way, rituals are exercises with tools. Rituals are exercises with tools. Discipline is a fuel. Discipline is it's like mental toughness. Do you have mental toughness? Could you use more mental toughness? How about hunger? Because you got to have those elements working together in unity if you truly want to have successful living. You got to have those three elements working together. Rituals, discipline, hunger. What is hunger? Hunger drives you. That's what you need. That's why most people, when they try to stop gambling, they don't have hunger. They don't have the drive. They run out of gas and they go right back to the swamp. They go right back to the filth. And listen, if you are troubled, if you're having problems and you find yourself on this broadcast today, it's not a coincidence, my friend. Listen, this is not a coincidence that you're here listening to the sound of my voice. If you are troubled, if you are having problems with gambling, it's because you're running out of fuel. You need to plug in. Maybe it's not addiction with gambling. Maybe it's another form of addiction. But remember, it's not about the addiction that you're fighting. It's actually a mindset. It's actually a belief. It's something that you have upstairs that is dictating that behavior. There's a little principle operating. There's a law operating in your mind that's dictating that behavior. And there's the cool thing is that you can change that. And you might also begin to analyze and reflect and realize that the reason why you're displaying that behavior, maybe it isn't your fault. Maybe you grew up in a home where you were taught things that were bad. And today you find yourself in a world, you find yourself in the valley of the shadow of death, wondering, right? Listen, I'm talking to myself here too, because I question, I ask myself all the time, I'm not satisfied to be where I'm at. I'm just not satisfied. I want to be able to excel. I want to be able to take my life I want to take all of these things that I'm doing to another level. And that takes work. It takes rituals. It takes discipline. It takes hunger. People send me messages, Santos, how do you stop? How can I stop going to the casino? How can I stop gambling? How can I stop? Three things. You got to have the rituals. You got to have a system. You got to have a blueprint. You got to have the hunger. And you got to have you got to have the mental toughness to be able to say no when you get tempted. When things go bad, when you get cursed out by your wife or your husband, instead of running to the casino, you look at that thing and you say, no. Mental toughness. And this applies in many areas of work. This applies within the family. I was reading in the Old Testament in chapter 6 of Genesis, and I was reading about Noah, how he had a relationship with the Creator. Isn't it strange? There was only 8 souls that jumped into the ark when God told, and the message was getting out to the land that there was going to be a flood. There's going to be a flood. 8 people jumped into the ark. And of course, God gave Noah the blueprint, precisely how to make that thing. And the Bible says that the earth was filled with violence. In fact, let me read that. I was reading that earlier today, and you know what, man? It hit me so hard. It's like I'm reading a newspaper. I mean, it's just, this is the reason why we need to really, really put a guard on where we go and what we listen to and who we talk to and how we talk to ourselves. Listen to this. This is Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. It says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Let me emphasize this for a moment. Here's the Creator looking down upon planet Earth before the flood. And he could pierce right into the hearts of men and women, children, all alike. And he said that their thoughts The every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. I don't know if you hear this, but when I look out into the world, I see a lot of this. And it doesn't necessarily have to be close, like family or anything like that. I'm talking about when we look beyond ourselves, when we look to these governments, when we look to the leaders, when we look to these things that are happening, these experiences, the imagination. I said to myself, has this world gone mad? Has this world entered into an era of no return? I'm telling you, my friend, this is a time for us to really be thinking about what we're doing, where we're going, and what we're dabbling with. You know, we think sometimes, yeah, just dabble a little bit here with this thing, just a little bit. You know, I'm in control. I've got a little bit of extra money, just a little. And what happens? That little thing begins to grow, sometimes like on its own. And basically next thing you know, it's out of control. It's out of control. And that's how it happens. It always starts with an innocent decision, right? Yeah, I'll just try. I'll just try it once. I'll just try it once. You know, I want to go make some money. You know what? I want to get that euphoria feeling just one time. Let me drink whatever. This is the world that we live in, my friends. This is the world. I don't know. I believe that the Creator is really, really helping me focus more on the law of God, on the Word of God, because I'm realizing that's my foundation. That's truth for me today. Because where do you find truth? Where do you go to find truth today? I mean, where is truth other than the law of God? All right, I'll stop preaching, my friends. Let me see what you guys got going on here. We've got a small audience today for some reason. Suzanne, welcome. Slow CZ, welcome. Who else is on here? Let me see. We've got Jim. We are now into the third month of 2020. Are we on track? Well, we are on track. Those of us that have, if you've turned on the light, you're on track. There might still be a little bit of fog in front of you, but the point that you've turned on your light, that's what counts. Because again, you're a gift, I'm a gift. I have no control over the gift of Monday. You have no control over the gift of Tuesday, right? Tuesday will begin to unwrap itself. And here, let me share with you a secret about this unwrapping. Or Tuesday will begin to unwrap itself very early in the morning. I know that wasn't too funny, was it? But anyways, I thought it was. So we are unwrapping ourselves as a gift also. The day and ourselves. How did I get on this one? So we are talking about the elements that precede successful living. I'm realizing more and more that if you truly want to be successful in your mindset, it is work. It is a discipline. And you have to have those three elements. And you have to have rituals, right? Exercises with tools. What are they? What are the rituals that you should be incorporating? Let me say this. You are doing rituals already. Now, the rituals that you're doing, what are those leading into? What are the results that you're getting from the rituals that you're doing every day? Every morning you're doing a ritual, whether you realize it or not. Even by default, you're doing a ritual. Are you disciplined? Do you have that mental toughness? If you're falling down and you're losing money and things are not going, you're not doing good, and you're here on this broadcast, I was going to say this earlier, you need to really take a good look at your situation before it really begins to fall apart on you. You're here for a reason. I'm going to help you get mental toughness. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you think about mental toughness. I'm going to plant that seed in your spirit about mental toughness because we need this today more than ever. We need mental toughness more than ever. We're living in the valley of the shadow of death. Aren't we? I believe we are. Hunger will drive you to discipline using rituals repetitively. Hunger will give you desire. Hunger is what gives you the desire. What is it that you're hungry for? And I'm not talking about that. Maybe you had a really good tasty meal last night. Remember the last time that you had a really good tasty morsel? Remember that? It was so good, man. Just so good. It was just right. Then you go back, try to duplicate it. It doesn't work, man. This plate doesn't taste the same as the last time I was here, right? Experiences in life, man, they're just so bizarre sometimes. Then maybe you go back a couple months later and you end up with that really good meal again. But they're far and few, my friend. Unless you make them at home, I guess you could work and become a chef at home. And then you could become real good at that, right? But even at home, we fail too. And I'm going to be ending the episode here in a few minutes, but there's something very, very important that I want to add that is a part of this program. If we truly want to be successful, if we truly want to have success from the moment that we wake up in the mornings, whether we're going to school, whether we're going to work, whether we're running a business, whether we are, whatever it is that we're doing, whatever it is that we want to do. Let me see if I can get, oh man, I'm losing track here. What am I doing? These elements, they must be in place, right? Here's what I want to share that's part of this. This is very important. By the way, we're coming down to the wire. I was thinking about creativity and playfulness. Creativity and playfulness falls into the category of elements that precede successful living. I want you to think about something. Have you ever played with a child? I'm sure you have. As we grow older, our children grow. We don't do that as much. But you notice something when you play with children. You enter into their world. Right? Children live in an atmosphere of playfulness and creativity. And there is a need for us to remind ourselves that we need to become creative and playfulness with these elements. What happens to a child, right? A child lives in the atmosphere of creativity and playfulness until he or she becomes an adult. That's the sad part. Now, us as adults, we need to reflect on children. Why do we need to reflect on children? Because that atmosphere of creativity and playfulness is where you need to be moment by moment to be able to find the solutions. Children come up with ideas. In fact, when you're playing with them, you begin to think like a child. You begin to come up with these weird things too. I love doing that because, in fact, I had a little boy in here earlier. He's gone. I was thinking about letting him come onto the broadcast. His name's Oliver, and I think he's almost 2 years old. And, when he's here, he visits here, I do my best to plant seeds in that little boy's mind because I know the situation that he's in. And I don't want to talk too much because I got to be careful there. Never muzzle a child. I've been in supermarkets. I've been in homes where parents have literally muzzled their children. What do I mean by that? You gotta be in certain situations and experiences to notice or to know what I'm talking about here. I'm not just talking about slapping a child or doing something. No, we muzzle them. We find ways. Adults find ways to muzzle children, and that's why a lot of children today, they need help. They need therapy, right? Let's not muzzle our children. Let's study children. Come on, Santos. Come on. You're talking about study the mindset, study the playfulness, the art of playfulness and creativity. The art of playfulness and creativity. My friend, you can learn a lot from a child. We could learn a lot. My children are grown up. I have a couple grandchildren, and when they come here, I do my best to plant seeds in them because I know, they're an extension of me, and they're going to live when I'm gone. What seeds I've planted in them hopefully will germinate. Hopefully, because my friend, it's going to be tougher for our children. This world is I believe this world is mad. Even though I try to be as positive as I can, we have to balance out the negatives because there's going to be negatives and positives. We have to live with both of them, right? I choose to be more positive. When you turn on the light, you expose the darkness. If there is no darkness, there's no need for light, right? If there's no darkness, if you don't have any darkness in your life, then you don't need a need for light. But the truth is that we all have darkness and we all need light. We need to learn to be creative. We need to learn to be playful. That's what's going to help our business. That's what's going to help our family. That's what's going to help us achieve victory over these addictions. These elements that will lead to successful living. All right, my friends, we're winding down. I'm going to see, we've got some more comments here. Jim West, welcome to the program, to the live. Creativity allows us to find better solutions. Exactly. That is correct, my friend, my fellow soldier. I agree. Let me see. I've got a couple more comments here. Monica says true. Thank you, Monica. He's checking from the UK. Well, welcome to the program. Jim, we're here. I call this Life Solutions Finder. I call this a tall glass of cold water. This episode, I call this a tall glass of cold water on a very hot day. There's nothing like drinking a cold glass of water on a very hot day. That's what I feel this program is to me. I don't know what this program is to you, but I know what it is to me. This program has helped me immensely. That's why I'm so privileged. I'm so honored and so excited to be here with you guys every Sunday, man. Believe me, I could be somewhere else. You could be somewhere else. But we're here for a good reason. We are in the midst of a battle zone. We're in the midst of a war. And the soldiers need to come together. Soldiers need to come together. They need to band together. They need to put their resources together. And like Jim said, solutions come out of idea and creativity. So thank you, Jim. Hopefully you'll visit us again. And Suzanne says thank you to Monica. Australia. Let me see if I'm correct. Might be correct there. Australia is in the house. Thank you for being with us, Suzanne. And let me see here. Suzanne says, I missed that one. Where was it? Wait a minute. I just saw Suzanne had, come on, get in there. Oh, there it is. Show, let me see. And then Monica, I give myself sentences of positive power, especially if any thoughts of temptations come. You could, Suzanne, it's like a lot of these things, we can turn them into games. That's why I'm always sharing, and I've mentioned this before about children and that mindset of creativity and playfulness. As adults, we're too grown up. GROWED. We're too grown up. We have to look back and we have to really bring this atmosphere of creativity and playfulness into our lives. If we don't do these things, we're going to get overwhelmed. We're going to become depressed. Pressure is going to hit us one day and it's going to knock us off balance. We're going to be hit with triggers and temptations. And guess what? We'll be like the puppet. The puppet master and we're the puppet, and the strings are being pulled, and this string is pulled, you go to the casino. This other string over here is pulled, and guess what? You're gonna fight to the death over an argument that maybe you've even lost what you were arguing about, right? This string is pulled over here, a bad day. And this is how we become if we're not consciously aware. This world out there, my friends, the casinos, the establishments, they're not quiet. They are not quiet. They want all your money, all of it. They want to drain your account. Really, the casino, it's not the people in the casinos per se. It's not them. It's beyond that casino. Like I said, there's a secret society. There is the casino. These establishments are a byproduct of somebody's mental engineering. And it goes beyond that, my friend. There's a spiritual battle going on. So we're not defeating gambling. We're trying to defeat the ideology inside the paradigms inside our head. Once you get that, you'll have no problem breaking the casino habit, breaking any other habit. Once you get it, once you finally get it up here. And believe me, it's not going to be that easy to just break that idea. That idea is not going to say, wow, Santos is meaning business, today, he's already been on a ritual for 5 days, man. We just better get out of his way because he's going to steamroll us. No, you know what? Those ideas will dig in deeper until you dig in deeper and do battle. And you're determined to win. I'm going to win over my mind. You're determined. That's how you get victory in every area of your life. So yes, it's a work. It's a discipline. We should be plugging into sources that help us. We should be part of a tribe somewhere, part of a program, part of a system somewhere. Hint, hint, soldiers of self-mastery. And a lot of you are. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. I really do. I thank you for your support. We continue to reach out through podcasts, through books, through videos, to reach youth, to reach veterans, to reach adults before they fall off the edge, before they fall off the cliff and go down that embankment into their deaths. That's what the goal, that's what the mission of Soldiers of Self-Mastery is all about. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here with me today on this broadcast. Let me see. There's a couple of statements. Santos, I'm in the casino right now on Grand Theft Auto. That's Vasil. Let me see. Vasil. Hi, Santos. Thanks for being close to all of us. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Where are you from, Vasil? Where are you from, Vasil? Let me know. Jesse says, I hope that we pray for one another to guard our minds and testify next week what good things happen. Yes, another era of 7 days. Let me see. Monica had something here. You're welcome, CZ. I've been there. All right, we're getting ready to wind down here, my friends. I see no numbers. Maybe nobody's interested in my book. Okay. Laura says, I'm addicted also to sugar. My cousin died at 500 pounds. Wow. 500 pounds. That's huge. Monica says, yes, my mother told me she had one of her, well, I don't know if it was a friend of a friend a couple weeks ago died in front of a slot machine. She had a heart attack. She didn't win anything. She lost big time is what happened. What a place to go. I guess if she's having fun, so-called fun, and she's still in control of her life and she went that way, well, that's the way it is. I'm not advocating casinos because I know they're very dark. They can be fun, but they're very dark. I mean, I fight the temptation and the triggers too. Believe me, there's times that it hits me hard. And I have to really, really look at it and say, no, you know where that's going to lead. Monica says, anything good in life takes effort, but it's worth it. And the time to start doing things is now. because it's going to get more difficult. You know, when you procrastinate and you put things off, you keep putting things off, you know what happens, right? Some people never get to it. You never get to it. Or it gets so difficult that you don't even know where to start. And that's why I'm grateful for all of you guys that are here, because it shows you're here for a reason. It shows something. That ought to show something to you about you. You know, you may be a lot stronger than you realize. You may be. You're just not. Maybe you're just not seeing it. Hopefully, we'll flip the switch on today for you, the light, so you can actually see who you are. And because, you know, again, we live in this dark world. Look at, it's gone mad. I really believe that the world has gone mad. There's a lot of positives. There are a lot of positives, but compared to the negatives and the darkness, there is no comparison. There's way, way more, a bigger blanket of negatives and darkness than there is positives. So we have to stay as close as we can to the positives, because if not, we get sucked in. We get sucked in big time. Let me see. Who was it? Jesse just said something about Sean, are you going to be with us next week? Are you going to be with us? I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it, but I just wanted to know, because if not, if you can make it next Sunday, if not, I'm going to have Jim. He's going to be with us, hopefully. And if there's somebody else on here that wants to do an interview with me, you got something you want to share, maybe you have an opportunity, a financial opportunity that you can share with us, something that really works that you're using for yourself that could help maybe some of us, whoever. I'm open-minded. I'm not saying that I'm going to just jump into some kind of an opportunity. I look at things because we all need more money. Going forward, we all need more money. The cost of living is going to get, in fact, if this coronavirus begins to spread faster, the cost of living is going to go up very quickly. We need to be prepared. We need to be prepared mainly up here. Creative, playful, rituals, exercises, tools, mental toughness, discipline, and hunger. You got to have a drive. You got to have something that you fight for, something that you're willing to even die for. That's the hunger that you need in order to be victorious every day. Even if other people don't think you're victorious, as long as you know you're victorious up here, that's what counts. All right, my friends. We're getting ready to end the program. Rudy, welcome. Let me see. Rudy Escobar. I get caught going in with free play, then I put in a lot of money. Exactly. That's the deception. Hey, come on in. Come on. Okay. Oh, boy. Look at who we got here. My little man. Okay. Come here. Come over here for a minute. Hi. Oh, boy. Hi. Okay. Say hi to the audience. Say hi, Ellie. What you doing, man? What? Plant them seeds of success, man. Anyways, I thought he was gone, but he came back. So he is. Who are you, Oliver? He's kind of a good friend, family member, but you know, you have to be patient with children. You got a really, really big example, man. These guys are our future. They are. And they're heading into a world that's going to be, we talked about the valley of the shadow of death. My friend, this world is not going to get better. That's the truth. The only thing that's going to get better are the people that are turning on the light. Right, Oliver? The light. Yeah, only the people that are turning on the light are the ones that are going to be strong during these times of darkness and difficulties, Oliver. Yeah. What do you think? Okay. All right. We'll let him go. He's going to play for a little bit. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, he's a small soldier. I do the best that I can when he's here. He's unfortunately, he comes from a challenging childhood. So This is the things that we deal with. I know, I hear you. Okay, we're getting ready to we're getting ready to close down here, Oliver. So, yeah, you got to keep it down low, man. Keep it down low, okay? Yeah, I think, how old are you? How old are you? I don't think he's 2 yet. It's just, yeah. So. Yeah. 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 Yeah, we're getting ready to end the program. Oh, Vasil says, hi, little guy. Yeah. Did you drink some water today? Huh? Did you drink some water? Yeah. That's not good, Rudy. Yeah. That's not good, my friend. Gotta get a handle of, you must get a handle. I mean, I've been married 24 years. My first marriage, probably my only marriage. 24 years. I hid gambling from my wife for probably, I would say maybe 12, 13, 14 years of our marriage. So it is what it is, but we have to fight. We have to fight hard to keep what we have. So I'm encouraging you, Rudy, to fight if you truly want to keep your marriage, if you want to honor those vows, because they are vows. Okay, my friends, nobody guessed. I'm going to give you guys, I won the book. By the way, next I'm not going to give you the number. Next week, it's either going to be my personal coach and engineer, Coach Cephas, or this book, and I'm going to write a little special message on the inside. Yep, be careful because keep it down. Okay, we're almost done. I'm going to write a little special message on the inside of one of these books for you when you, if you're the one that gets the book. Okay, we're going to be closing the program, so we'll issue the challenge next week. Hopefully, Sean will be with us, sharing his testimony, encouraging others to save their marriage and their wallets. Yep. Yep. Here you go. You can have one of these. You can have one. There you go. Yep. Just one. Okay. All right, my friends. Stick around, Rudy. If subscribe, make sure that you subscribe to this this program. Let me see banners. Yes. These casinos are part of this, the death. We walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Casinos are part of that too. All right, my friends. We're going to come down. We're going to come down to the end. Are you going to dance with me, man? Come on. Let's do the victory dance. Ready? Come on. Come on over here so the audience can see you do the victory dance. Ah, he's chicken. Come on, man. You can't be chicken. All right, my friends. Let me wind down here. We're going to be heading down. Thank you, Monica. Thank you. And I hope 7 days coming up. Win, victory. You can do this, okay? Don't lie to yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Don't listen to the naysayers, okay? You got what it takes, my friend. You can do this. You just got to dig a little bit deeper and pull out that playfulness, pull out that creativity. Discipline yourself. Use the rituals that you have, the tools that you have, books, videos. if you need a coach in your life, you might be out there looking for a coach to help guide you for a month or two. Check out soldiersofselfmastery.com. I still offer coaching, one-on-one coaching. Yeah. And of course, there's Gamblers Anonymous for those that can utilize that. And we got to get creative. Yeah. Friends, exercising, eating healthier as much as possible, and coming here every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, Jim, we're going to have you on. Looks like I'll hang around for a little bit here. Thank you for your words. You're an inspiration to all of us. I hope I am. I really hope I am. I'm not trying to be a people pleaser here because that doesn't work. I want to bring truth. I want to bring water. I want to bring light to you, my friends, because I'm doing it, right? I'm achieving victories in many areas of my life, man. I'm like, yeah, I never knew it could be this good. I never knew I could be this alive. Yeah. You could too. We could start all over again. All right, until my next episode, what's the call to action? I've already given it to you. I salute each and every one of you soldiers and soldierettes. Remember, we live in the battle zone. We must win daily.